Howdy, folks. I'm Jeff with Tools, Technology, and Training. And today's episode is sponsored by ShopDog Marketing. We so much appreciate Dan Vance and his whole crew over there, everything that they can do and help you with in your marketing. And today we're honored to have Nick Whitaker, and he is the Google Ads guy. So, Nick, kind of tell a little bit about what you do so the folks will know, and then we'll get into what we're going to talk about today.
Well, yeah, first of all, let me just say thank you. Great opportunity to be on your show. Again, I'm Nick Whitaker. I'm the Google Ads manager over here at ShopDog Marketing. I work with Dan every day. I run your Google Ads. So when it comes to paid search ads, paid digital ads, paid video ads, we like to take a multimedia approach to making sure that your businesses are being heard through the right mediums.
Is it real important to do video?
Yeah. Right now, video is king. So like what you were saying before, it's important to have your foundations set firmly. That's one approach that I like to take. Is I like to make sure that we have all the foundations in place before expanding, and being able to have that. The criteria for that is to make sure that we're established. All of your key indicators are indicating trending in the right directions, and to be able to have them on Google search is very foundational. And working with Dan, jumping into the process over here, we make sure that all those foundations are covered. And then once that baseline is set and solidified and is cost effective for you, then we'll expand to display marketing and video marketing. So that's just in Google. Social media is the omni-channel approach. Being able to jump in the foundation absolutely is Meta, which includes Facebook and Instagram together. So being able to open up these business profiles, having regular posting, and even some paid ads on those channels, I would consider that the foundational portion of the social media approach to that. And media comes from the word medium, which is just a different communication of mode of transportation, taking a message, breaking it down, conveying it, having the people receive that message and re-encode it the right way, and then understanding the message. That's the anatomy of a message, and that's one thing that I try to make sure that people are gathering when we're doing these ads, whether it's on the Google network, whether it's on the social media sites. We want to make sure that your message is being encoded clearly, decoded throughout those different various mediums, especially video right now is huge, and then re-encoding the right way for the right clients.
When you talk about, you still have it's all still part of the basic foundation. And last month we talked about the basic foundation starting with their website. And is that, when you talk about Google, is that mostly the foundation that Google is looking at, or are we also using the foundation of Meta for what Google's looking at also?
That's a very good question. I'm going to break it down like this. So everything these days is machine learning, semantic context. What that essentially means, breaking it down, is it's a spider web of different connection points, but how they all link up together. So if you're missing some of those points, then you're missing a whole branch of communication. And if those connections are lacking, you're not going to get kind of that synergistic effect that you're looking for. So when it comes to working with ShopDog, we want to make sure that we get all of those touch points of that spider web to be able to be solidified and connecting throughout the entire process. So when it comes to website, as you had mentioned, and then even further deeper inside that is search engine optimization, or SEO. There's a lot of acronyms when it comes to marketing. So bear with us. But so SEO is built into your website, and the website needs to have what's called accessibility, which means that any way that things can come in. It also includes features for those who are disabled, things of that nature. And if those are built into the site, by a professional web developer. That should all be baked in. And what Google is looking for is relevance, cohesion, accessibility. So with relevance, if your site is the most relevant for what's being searched as people are typing it in on Google, if your site has the most ranked keywords that include those terms, you're going to be higher up on the organic list on the SERP, search engine results page. Above that, if you notice when you type in on a search engine like that, you'll see something ad or sponsored or something like that. That's where the paid ads come in. So that's one portion. SEM or search engine marketing includes something like Google ads, Bing ads, and even social media ads. So those paid ads that you can have out there that differentiate from organic or posting on social media, things like that. And there are other connection points as well that's kind of baked into the process of onboarding with an agency like ShopDog Marketing, that we make sure that those are getting hit, that are especially good for local service. For instance, auto shop repair owners.
We have to take guys like me that's old school, and then you have the new ones, the younger shop owners that come in, and it's like, okay, we basically are trading out. Where we used to pay for a newspaper ad, now we want to pay for a Google ad, and it's the same thing that we've always done. When you
Right.
talk about paid advertising, it's just you're changing the medium, the media. Okay, what is people going to type in? And they're broke down on the side of the road, or else they go, hey, I need new tires. What are they going to punch in? Tires. So if they're punching in to find a auto repair shop, what are some words that they would punch in?
That's a great question. So I deal with keywords all day, every day. That's kind of the forte. That's the niche that I'm in, and we'll explore exactly that. So auto repair is probably the number one keyword. We're definitely going to make sure first thing that's the first one that gets in there. It's also going to be associated with Google Maps, with your Google business profile, and it's going to be heavily saturated throughout your website. If you're doing SEO, I'm sure you've heard the term blogs or articles or things like that. Those are utilized with SEO so that the Google algorithm can read how many times and in what context those mentions are happening. And it's a very measured thing to be able to show that your site is relevant. I kind of liked that analogy that you were going with the newspaper, right? So you want to put ads out on the newspaper. So that's the thing that the paid ads will do. You can put something in a newspaper, it kind of gets the word out. SEO is a little bit more of like, say your business is an institution in the community, right? So that's the organic portion. It does take a little bit longer to be able to kind of institutionalize your place with relevance in those searches. But over time, with the amount of keywords that you rank for through the SEO process, you'll be able to have those upper spots on the Google listing if you were to type in auto repair, because it will be seen as the most relevant, and most of the community in the area already knows that spot. And so it's kind of like receiving a modern day version of word of mouth if you have that organic place in the SERP, that search engine results page. So what we do with the keywords is I will do competitive analysis. I'll take a good hard look at the site that you have. I'll look at the services that you offer. I'll look at your location. I'll look at anything about the company itself. Usually companies on websites have like an about us page. And I kind of build that into a good keyword list. And then I'll also look at the things that you're not associated with that maybe you don't necessarily think of. And I'll put those in a negative keywords list. And this is kind of a confusing thing, but it's the keywords that are within the same niche, but you don't want to associate with them. Like, for example, we've had like a junkyard or a pick and pull, but you don't want to be able to show up on those. You want to be auto shop repair. So that's the negative keyword list. I think of those things also. And we'll build out that negative keyword list. So if you're planning on doing some ads, be thinking about that as well. It's like a double negative. Think about the things that you want to be associated with, but also the things you don't want to be associated with, but could be confused because it's in the same niche or industry or genre. And start to compile those things into a negative keyword list. And if you're going to hire someone like me, send that list to me. It'll do a lot. It'll do a lot to have your expertise, because you're the person living there, and you can send that to me. And it's like having the insider knowledge already, and that's a huge bonus for someone like me to be able to have something like that. And that's something that I've been building out quite a bit, is the negative keyword list as well as those positive keywords. So services are huge, and being able to have those also implemented not only as keywords but built into the ad copy of what the people are actually seeing, built into your ad. Those things associate, and it increases the ad strength. And if they're also on the web page, then that adds to what's called cohesion, where if you click on an ad and you're seeing the same kind of thing on that website after you click it, that's cohesion. And that's what we're looking for. That's the harmony, the homeostasis that we're looking for, because that's what's going to boost and give that synergy effect, because that's the spider web connecting.
You have to look at, okay, it's what part are we reaching? What is our target audience? And then I'm hearing a lot of when you're talking about the different words and you're saying, okay, what's in your description, what's in your services. But now it's like we go to experts like y'all, Shop Dog Marketing, and you look at all of that and say, okay, what is your audience? What is your target audience? What is the type of vehicles you want? That's basically what you're doing now.
Yeah, definitely. It's just like a different medium. Being able to understand your audience is the key to being able to do that. So the way that we kind of look at it is we want to make sure that it's coming from the right direction. So even though we're writing the ads, we want to be able to speak as though we are that auto repair shop. So it's important for me to get to know the person who is actually interacting with the community, and being able to kind of adopt that dream, so to speak, for the purposes of being able to create an ad that incorporates all of what they're working for into what we're doing. And that's one of the things that I like to do, is to be able to get some images or some keywords that might be significant to the community, to be able to make sure that it sounds like it's coming from those shop owners, because it is. And so being able to have it in the right direction, so writing the ad placement as though it's from them and not necessarily from us, having it placed in the right way, the right keywords in the right places. But another thing is the persona. And this is an interesting thing too, is AI, ChatGPT can help you analyze your ideal user and create a persona that you can then kind of build around. So getting the right kind of attitudes, behavior, similar interests, things like that, that you can incorporate into maybe some images or font choices or color choices of display ads or video ads that would appeal to those ideal clients and customers. But I like to use user personas that also, from the mom and pop shops, or have it as like a community hero kind of persona, or, we service families. We get a lot of minivans over here. So I like to hear those things so that I can word these ads with kind of that attitude and idea in mind, and to be able to break it down so that it's for those people.
And see, what I'm hearing is it's personalized service, which is what, as a shop owner, as a repair shop, that's what we want to offer our customers. And that's the same thing that I'm hearing from y'all, is it's personalized service. It's not copy and paste, and using stock photos. It's like a two-way street. You call and say, hey, I need some pictures of this, or hey, tell me what you're doing in the community. I really like that part. And I think a whole lot of other shop owners are going to really appreciate that part of it. And so when you're doing this and you start putting out ads, and we talked a little bit, and my question was, they can't call you and go, "Oh my gosh, I don't have any cars this week. I don't have any cars scheduled for next week. What can we do? What? Oh, Nick, I need some cars in here." It's
Right.
not a quick fix. It's a process of, okay, do we have the foundation built? And then from there, you start developing. Well, just because you put out an ad or you put out a jingle, it don't go viral. So what do you do then? Y'all go back and look at it, and you discuss the things like the ROI, the conversion rates, the how many calls did we get off of this?
Right. Yes. So you asked what's the first thing? The first thing is take a deep breath, because I I get it. I know it's extremely stressful as a business owner myself. You know, I get those feelings too. The best thing you can do is get a sip of water, take a nice big deep breath, because no one's gonna panicking isn't gonna help the situation. Yes, there is a foundation and it needs to be built in order for the best part of what we have to offer can manifest. And that's true. I will say, with a high degree of managing expectations about what I'm about to say, there are things that you can do that will help you achieve some limited short gains in a closer amount of time. So paid ads are not going to get you that huge gap of cars in your garage overnight. The way I like to think of it is, a lot of people talk about it. There's the triangle. You have good quality, you have cheap, and you have fast. Pick two, really.
Wait, yeah, you want that cheap? No, it don't work that way.
Yeah. I mean, we can saturate a market with your advertising dollars, but the bare truth of that is it's still going to take 2 weeks to fully ramp up. So if if you're managing your own campaigns and you juice it up to some, you're putting your full monthly budget in for one day and you realize nothing's going to happen. So you pause it and you're mad and you don't think Google Ads works. It doesn't quite work that way. Anything that's over 20% of the budget that you've already established, even if that's zero, it's going to take time for Google to relearn how to utilize your ad for the audience that's being selected. And an average time of that is 5 days. The longer side of average is 2 weeks. You can see some movement as soon as a couple of hours. And really, it depends on the community. If the community that we have in your geo fence, so normally we do, a few mile range of your shop, if people inside that ring aren't looking for anything, then you're going to have very limited, because there's also competition to be thinking about. And so as soon as Google fully learns, okay, this shop is now established in the community, we've gathered enough information from some of the people, we've got impressions, we've got clicks, we've been able to see similar audiences, we're able to kind of establish that and figure out what it is that this ad campaign is looking for in these people. And that can take up to about 5 days before things really start to launch. And what you'll see is you'll see the learning phase will peak, and then it will kind of trough, and then it will start to plateau. And about every 6 weeks to 2 months, you'll start to see it slowly go down and dip. So that's when I make sure and check that we're doing an ad refresh. Sometimes that doesn't happen, but if it does, I'll do an ad refresh, swap some headlines around, maybe double check the keywords, making sure that we're being efficient with that ad spend. And then it starts to perk back up again. It's kind of funny to see it like an EKG machine, it's just like beep, beep, beep. But I love looking at those graphs, and I like to be able to monitor how well we're doing and then getting a long view. So that's the other thing, to talk about those guys that are jumping on things a little bit too late. If you're going to do something, it's always better to be proactive about it before you're running into DEFCON orange, Be a little bit more proactive about it. That way you've got a little bit more of this wiggle room, and it's ultimately it's going to be cheaper for you if you're a little more proactive and you can have that little bit more time for us to get those foundations set in place. When you're already 20 cars behind in a month, that's not going to be a good thing to be thinking about it right then and there. But there are a few things that we can do if you're signing up that day to be able to start an inflow of coming in probably within a week's time, to be able to have a little bit more attention. And then slowly as that accumulates, it'll spur up like a turbo in your diesel engine. And you'll be better off, definitely. And manage those expectations. And the reason why I came back to that is the long view. If you're getting real significant growth over a year's long time span, if you're getting an additional 6 customers a month for a year, those 6 customers are going to last a lot longer than blowing a whole lot of money in 1 month to try to just reach that 20 car for that month. Have a wider view of things. You may have already missed that month, but we can forecast for seasonality. We can plan ahead for other things. Maybe there's some specials. Right now it's summer, so coolant and AC ads are huge right now. And so I've been doing a lot of those, and they're really getting a lot of good clicks and a lot of good attention. A lot of people out there wondering why their cars aren't cooling down or why they're overheating and having to stop on the side of the road because their engine's overheating. That's when these awesome mechanics come in and be the hero in that situation.
And see, I really like what I'm hearing, how y'all track and analyze that ad performance. But the other part that I'm hearing is, and it's so funny because people get on their phone and they'll have a conversation and then they say, oh my gosh, the phone's listening to me. Google's listening to me because I was asking about, hey, who do you go to for AC repair? And all of a sudden I start seeing AC repair ads pop up on my Facebook or on my social media. That really happens. But what I'm hearing from you is when you put these ads out, not everybody needs tires right now. Not everybody needs an oil change right now until they start looking for it or punching it in. Then that's when the ad starts targeting them.
Right. So yes, if they are looking for specified service such as wheel alignment, or if they're a tire shop and they need new tires, if you're hey Siri, I need new tires, something like that, it's going to pop it up on a search engine, and that's going to register that search with a cookie. It's a little snippet of code, and it gets saved anonymously just to let the browser know and remember that this is something that you were interested in, and so it's going to remember that. Easily, if you're paranoid about it, just clear your cookies. It's very very easy. But that's the semantic context machine learning we're talking about. And if you go to a site, there could be an additional cookie that drops that you went and visited a specified location. Now that's called retargeting. So you might go to Facebook right after that, and you'll see a retargeted ad because that little snippet of code was dropped on your browser, and it will track that that's something you're looking for. And if you didn't complete the conversion, then that's what retargeting is made for, is to be able to have you go and continue to have those impressions. And on average, an industry average is about 8 to 12 impressions, positive impressions, before you make the decision ultimately to convert. And what that means is you make a call or you fill out a form on the site, something like that. And I set those up, and that's one of those tactics that you can utilize for your auto shop. So if someone's saying, "Hey, I have a check engine light," then all of those things can come into play.
So if we summarize it up, that's what you're looking at talking to us. That's what you're looking at as far as, okay, what is your target audience? What is the vehicles you're looking at to repair? and then you work that into the ads so that then when the consumer is looking for it, it comes up. So how important is it to engage with those customers? Because a lot of times we hear, oh, you can go on and you can like all these different posts from folks in your community, in your area, in your network of friends, but the engagement part is that like real important, and is that make a difference?
Engagements are becoming increasingly more important. I've read articles where it talks about how some traditional digital marketing stuff is starting to go on the byway, and it's being replaced with an emphasis on engaged um, sessions when it comes to social media or even your Google business profile. If there's reviews that come in that way, um, it's always good to let people know that you're being attentive, especially if they have a positive impression to have on your business. Where say, hey, we went and visited these guys. They got our car fixed really well, and they really helped us out. Thanks. Then you pop in, you say, we were so grateful to have you come to our shop. Stop by again. Tell your friends and family about us, and don't forget to say that. Don't forget to say, if you have friends or family that needs something, give our number. And you never know when the very next interaction that they have with someone is going to involve that, and they'll mention you, and you get another sale because of that.
Nick, I just appreciate so much all of this that you're sharing, and I hope you don't mind my references on the old school and versus now. You guys are new school, and with all of this new technology, just like we have to keep up with it to repair the vehicles, that's what y'all do is you keep up with all this new technology uh, that because we fix cars. You guys help the fix our business.
Yeah,
It's our
we
market.
try to definitely. Yeah.
Yeah. And so that's so amazing. Nick, I know we've met several times in the past at the different events, but I'm so appreciative that you got on and shared this information with us. And the folks can always reach out and call and talk with Shop Dog Marketing, whether they reach out and they get a hold of Dan, they get a hold of Allie, they get a hold of Lauren, they get a hold of you.
Mhm.
Y'all, I know y'all will answer questions and talk to them and say, okay, hey, let's look, let's see if we need to bring you on board, because that's all part of the process. Is okay, yeah, are we a good fit? It's just like when customers come to our shop, are they a good fit? Are they the type of customers we're looking for? It's the same thing with y'all. It's like, are we a good fit? We're not a cut and paste marketing. We offer individual personalized service.